demonstration. Shocking news. Text messages from Diddy to Cassie. Rapper Shyne says that Diddy testified and had multiple people testify on his behalf to send him to prison. Make sure you watch the complete video because there's definitely information, breaking news, as well as a whole list of information that hasn't been revealed yet to the public. But before I get started with this demonstration, let me read my copyright disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. What does that mean? That means that everything that you hear in this demonstration is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Everything that you hear in this video that I call a demonstration is the opinions of mine and others. Everything that you hear in this demonstration is allegedly. It's only allegedly. Salute Aunt Esther, I see you. Salute Marie. I want to salute to my replay gang. Salute Suntan. Salute to everybody watching from the clouds. Salute Positive Vibes. Salute to all my moderators. Salute to you, him, and her. Salute to all my new subscribers worldwide. Salute Londa. Salute to the whole Rock Squad. Now, back in the 90s, there was a shooting in a New York City nightclub. And P. Diddy, as well as Jennifer Lopez, was arrested, and a rapper by the name of Shyne was arrested. Now, the rapper Shyne received 10 years out of the New York City club shooting incident. Allegedly, it was, can y'all hear me? Drop a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me. Drop a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me. Salute Nola, salute Beautiful. Drop a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me. All right, good. So the rapper Shyne was the only one that was found guilty, and he received 10 years in prison. Salute Florida Queen. Everybody assumed that it was P. Diddy's gun, and Shyne took the fall for P. Diddy. But later on, as things played out, y'all know my favorite phrase, let it play out. Later on, as things played out, we actually found out that it was a young lady that was shot in the nose by that shooting, and she revealed who exactly it was that shot her. She said that she seen P. Diddy shoot her. Now, we're talking about the rapper Shyne. He is the one, allegedly, that took the fall for the shooting and the gun. But what many of us didn't know is that P. Diddy actually took the stand, as well as had other people take the stand on behalf of him and put it all on the rapper Shyne. The cold piece of it was the 10 years that the rapper Shyne was locked up. P. Diddy allegedly never came to see him, as well as didn't put any money on his books. So it was like P. Diddy just basically threw him to the wolves. Now, Shyne, he did his time. He came home. He practiced the religion Judaism while he was incarcerated. So then he made a 180 and turned his life completely around. He moved to Belize and became a leader of the House of Representatives. He's a politician. Salute, Miss Groovy. Salute. I see y'all. Suntan, Tammy, I see y'all. Now, let's fast forward to believe it was this year or maybe last year. Now, P. Diddy donated some money. He donated a large amount of money to Shyne's whole politician campaign. Appreciate that super chat, Nola. Appreciate that super chat. Appreciate that super chat, Nola. So many people may feel as though, well, you can't turn back the hands of time. P. Diddy rewrote a wrong by doing right, by donating money to the rapper Shyne's political campaign and his whole House of Representatives. How many of y'all feel by P. Diddy donating the money, it was a form of apology, and the rapper Shyne should have just accepted the money and went on? Ms. Groovy says that still doesn't make up for the time he lost with his family because he took a charge for him. Exactly. And in the cold piece, like the rapper Shyne was saying, the cold piece was that P. Diddy, along with others, was on the stand testifying against him. Positive Vibe says, no, that was hush money. Marie says it was a cover-up. Suntan says, nope. So Shyne, he has been speaking out and everything, and most of his interviews, you know, he really didn't hold harsh words or harsh feelings towards P. Diddy. You know, I mean, of course you can't turn back the hands of time. However, the man can't get back those 10 years of his life. Now, I'm going to wait before I go to that. Also, there has been text messages that Diddy sent Cassie. That has been revealed now. So, and we know about the 1,000 bottles of baby oil. We know that he was denied bond a second time. This whole P. Diddy case that the feds call the Combs Enterprise is very, very interesting, because here's the thing. The one thing as of now, excuse me, y'all, excuse me. The one thing that's concrete as of now is the video. You know, along with the video, we have an apology from P. Diddy. Suntan says, but you can hear how he feels about it in his voice without saying it. Exactly. And, you know, Shyne is a politician now, so that's just a political thing to do. You know, that was just a political thing to do. You know, look, you know, can't turn back the hands of time. It is what it is, so we moving forward. Sophie says, hell with Diddy with a baby bottle. His cellmate is R. Kelly. Marie says, Shank, I think they going to treat this like R. Kelly case. Exactly. Now, we can compare both cases. We could compare the R. Kelly case with the P. Diddy case. And I know some people were saying that why they denying P. Diddy his bond. Hey, look, he salute 80s baby, salute Miss G. It's not like he was trying to flee the country. He was in New York. Salute Pretty Problem Niche. I see y'all. He was in New York, so he was waiting for the feds to pick him up. But how would he had known if somebody? See, this just shows everybody the power that P. Diddy has. Because remember, when the Homeland Security raided his homes, remember, people felt like Diddy was tipped off. Now, the attorney is saying, well, he moved to New York. He moved back to New York because he wanted to be close to New York because he knew that the feds was going to be arresting him. How he had known. See, now this plays against P. Diddy because you got to remember now, when it comes to setting the bail, okay, the first thing that the judge is looking at, the evidence that's presented for this defendant. That's the first thing the judge is going to go over, the evidence, because he has to see the crime that he's or she is being charged with, and he had to see what kind of evidence that's in the charge. Now, what's the charges? You got racketeering, you got sex trafficking, and you got kidnapping. Those are on the criminal chart of high crimes and low crimes. Those three charges are on the high part of the criminal charges. You got racketeering. Racketeering is up there with the M. I would say racketeering would probably be number one because, or if not number one, at least number two. But however we look at this, these are some serious charges. So now this judge is looking at the charges, okay, way before he get to setting the bail. So he's looking at the charges, or she is looking at the charges. Racketeering, sex trafficking, kidnapping, okay, racketeering. And it says in the description of the racketeering case against him, a form of bribery. He tried to bribe, well, he didn't try, he bribed the hotel security for that tape to go away of him assaulting Cassie. So that's a form of bribery right there. So the judge is looking at this. So he's into bribing people. Along with that, violence. The judge can see on the tape that there's violence. This man is committing violence. He don't got no problem with committing violence, right? So now he's seeing all this. Okay, let me pull his record. So now he pulls his record, or she pulls P. Diddy's record. She sees the 1998, 99 New York City club shooting that I just talked about. He sees that. So the violence is there. It's definitely right there. So now comes the flight risk. Is he capable of being a flight risk? Okay. Now they're going to check what's his occupation. Okay. They're going to check how much money he rocking with. He's a millionaire. So it's nothing for him to flee the country, and it's nothing for him to go to a country that doesn't have help me out, y'all. They're gonna see he can flee to a country that doesn't have a treaty with the United States, like Cuba, and there's some other countries as well. Whereas though, if you have a charge in the United States and you make it to certain countries, then if you in a country where the U.S. don't have no treaty, no extradition treaties with, then the United States can't come over there and get you. So they're looking at this. Now, the nail in the coffin for P. Diddy, when it comes to all of this that I just read, the nail in the coffin is P. Diddy's apology video. That slams the door shut. We all saw the video after the video of P. Diddy assaulting Cassie. We all saw the video that P. Diddy made apologizing, extradition. Appreciate that, Ms. Groovy. But we all saw that. So now this judge is sitting here, and this judge is like, okay. Now, remember the first bail hearing, the attorney offered $50 million. That's a lot of money, $50 million. So now this judge is looking at this. Along with the $50 million, the attorney is making all of these excuses for P. Diddy. All right, let's listen to the main excuse. He said that Cassie and somebody else was in the room. He said that Diddy snatched the phone. Diddy found out she was cheating. She snatched the phone back from Diddy and popped Diddy upside the head and ran out. Okay, let's say if that's true. First and foremost, Diddy never had any business of snatching her phone from her. Diddy had no business going through her phone. We all been down that road before. I've been down that road myself. Taking my girlfriend's phone and going through it. What do they always tell us about going through your girlfriend or your boyfriend's phone? Your ass go looking for something. Your ass is bound to find something. So Diddy snatched the phone, and Diddy going through a phone, allegedly, because this is what the attorney said, allegedly he going through the phone. He find out she cheating. He get mad. She snatched the phone, bop, upside his rock, his head. She runs. Now he comes behind her. Right? This is what the attorney is saying. So now the judge is taking all this in consideration. The judge is listening. Got to understand, the judge, last time I checked, was a female judge. Now let me tell y'all how it goes when you got a female judge. You take your ass in front of any female judge and you're being charged with any crime that's against a female, your ass is going to jail. You get back that. Ain't no getting out of that. Now, let me come. Because I'm getting ready to get on one, y'all, and I don't want to. Let's listen to some legal experts. And by the way, Positive Vibes, Beautiful Nightmare, and the rest of my troublemakers, I see y'all asses in the chat roasting me. Don't think I don't see y'all. Let's go to some legal experts for a minute.
Mogul Sean Diddy Combs remains behind bars in a Brooklyn, New York federal jail. A stark difference from his mansions in South Florida and Los Angeles. This week, the once famed producer's fall from grace came to a head when he was arrested in New York City and charged with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. While appearing in front of a federal judge on Tuesday, he pleaded not guilty to the crimes. Diddy was once known for his boisterous personality, often appearing as a fun-loving guy who would host great parties, including his now infamous White Party. But since his fall from grace, many who have filed lawsuits against him allege sinister activities were going on behind the scenes. At the center of the government's case against Diddy are his alleged freak-offs, which according to the indictment were elaborate and produced sex performances that Diddy arranged, directed, pleasured himself to, and often electronically recorded. But the freak-offs were first alluded to in Cassie's now settled federal civil lawsuit that was filed in November of last year and settled within a day. In the suit it says Diddy would repeatedly ask Cassie at random moments that he wanted a freak-off or FO, and she was expected to facilitate the location and hiring of male sex workers. The suit would go on to say during their relationship, the mogul would insist on an FO weekly, which would often take place in hotel suites. It's alleged Diddy would pay to fly male sex workers to his location, which included cities in the United States, and he would require Cassie and his staff to help him make these arrangements. According to the federal indictment against him, when the federal agents searched through his homes during the raids, they seized drugs and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. And
what the hell was he doing? Baby oil, lubricant, 1,000 bottles. I'll ask you all again. What the hell was he doing?
Cassie suit, she alleged Diddy's assistant, who also set up the freak-offs, would stock the hotel suites with baby oil and Astroglide. And Diddy always supplied her and the sex workers with copious amount of drugs like ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, and
All right, let's stop right there. They say the eyes never lie. They say the eyes never lie. What do we have here? What are we looking at? From the eyes, I'll let y'all tell me, what are we looking at? If the eyes never lie, what is P. Diddy's eyes telling us? Lennon says soulless eyes. Anybody else want to take a chance? Anybody else want to take a shot at it? Lennon says soulless eyes. I see you 80s, baby. Lennon says demon eyes. Aunt Esther says I'm zesty, referring to the baby oil bandit. Anybody else want to take a shot? Marie says, Miss Auntie, no curses in your sentence in chat. You will be timed out. What is the I saying? My man, Uncle Charles, is in the chat. Salute, Uncle Charles. 80s baby says, Transformer man, undercover. James says, cold. Cold. What is the baby oil bandit or the baby oil lover? What is Mr. Baby Oil? What are the eyes saying? Lennon says, what you see? I see a monster. I see someone says Diddy single-handedly kept baby oil company in business. Martin says he's broken and about to be victim for one's business. I see a monster. I see a monster. I'm looking at a monster right here. I'm looking at a man that's not happy. 80s baby says, I sell my family for success. Positive says, a parasite. He's not looking happy at all.
ketamine. According to her suit, she would frequently get anxious before the FOs to the point she would become physically ill. But still, Diddy would shame her into performing for him, and if she didn't want to participate, she was met with anger and violence. In Rodney Jones Jr.'s civil racketeering lawsuit, first filed in February of this year, he alleged Diddy had a habit of regularly drugging his party guests and having forced sex with men and women. Like the federal indictment laid out, Diddy didn't work alone. He always had a team helping him with his alleged crimes. Jones, who was also once in Diddy's inner circle, alleged in his lawsuit he was required to solicit sex workers and perform sex acts with them for Diddy's pleasure. Adult film star Adria English, who filed her suit against Diddy in July of this year, alleged she was groomed into sex trafficking over time by Diddy. In her suit, she said she first met Diddy around 2004, when her boyfriend at the time was auditioning for a modeling gig at Diddy's fashion line, Sean John. She claims her boyfriend and another model were asked to perform oral sex on Diddy in order to get the job. And when he refused, Diddy's associate offered him the job as long as Adria worked as a go-go dancer at his white party in the Hamptons. She says at his party, she regularly had to drink alcohol laced with drugs like ecstasy. According to her suit, Diddy demanded she have sex with party guests. And if she didn't, he would tank her career and blackball her and her boyfriend from the industry if they didn't comply. Diddy's most recent accuser, singer Dawn Richard from Danity Kane, alleged in her lawsuit filed about a week before her former boss's arrest that at an after party she saw a copious amount of illegal drugs. And the girls who attended the parties appeared lethargic or passed out, while Diddy and his guests allegedly performed sexual acts on them. She alleged in her suit Diddy told party guests, "This is a buffet, enjoy yourselves. This is what we do. This is how we party." Under Diddy's federal indictment, it alleges the producer threatened and coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires for years. When federal prosecutors announced the unsealing of the federal indictment against him, U.S. Attorney Damian Williams said the victims were filled with drugs to control them for long periods of time, with participants of the freak-offs typically having to get IV fluids to recover from the physical exertion.
The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant.
These freak-offs lasted for days. Now, I don't know about any of y'all, but my sex drive is not 3 days long. In fact, my sex drive is not even 2 days long. And if I keep it 100 with y'all, my sex drive ain't even 24 hours long. And if I keep it 100 with myself, my sex drive ain't even an hour long. But y'all ain't heard that from me. So I don't want y'all running, telling my business.
As alleged, when Combs didn't get his way, he was violent and subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse so that they would participate in the freak-offs, and that Combs hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims, at times by their hair.
While arguing for bail after he was arraigned, Diddy's attorney reportedly told the judge it's not sex trafficking if the participants of the freak-offs wanted to be there. After Diddy was denied bail on Tuesday by a federal judge, his attorney, seemingly disappointed Diddy wasn't issued bail, said he'll continue to fight for his client.
So Diddy has one hell of an attorney. Anytime after getting hit with the charges that Diddy got hit with and the evidence that's there for your attorney to be disappointed, you have one hell of an attorney.
So this was the first step. We have a bail appeal scheduled for tomorrow at 3:30 in front of Judge Carter, the district judge assigned to this case. I think that we made the points that we've been wanting to make. I think it came out. Mr. Combs is a fighter. He's going to fight this to the end. He's innocent. He came to me.
Drop a 1 if y'all feel as though Mr. Combs is innocent. Drop a 2 if y'all feel like Mr. Combs' ass is not guilty.
New York to establish his innocence. He's not afraid. He's not afraid of the charges. There's nothing that the government said in their presentation today that changes anyone's mind about anything. He's been looking forward to this day. He's been looking forward to clearing his name, and he's going to clear his name. And we're going to stand by his side as he does. We believe in him wholeheartedly. He didn't do these things. This was a 10-year relationship. There's no coercion. There's no crime. There's basically just, someone who brought a civil case and now is finding themselves as a witness in a criminal case.
Stop right there. Let me let this finish, y'all. Let me let it finish.
And we're going to fight this case with everything we have, as is he. And eventually he's going to be shown to be innocent. And so tomorrow we fight again. And we'll fight every day until we don't have to fight anymore.
All right, let's stop right there, Rock Squad. Let's chop it up. Now, according to his attorney, he's not guilty. So guess what? Salute Pee Wee, salute Shyne. I see y'all. Lucinda Speaks TV. I see y'all. So guess what? All of y'all that feel like Diddy is guilty, according to his attorney, all of y'all asses got it wrong. Because according to the attorney, he's not guilty. And according to the attorney, when it all plays out, his name will be cleared. And according to the attorney, this guy, Diddy, is going to be a free man. Well, Mr. Attorney, did you or did you not see the apology video from P. Diddy. Now, I know you an attorney, and I know, you got to go and you got to represent your client. But just like your client made a fool out of himself, you're making a fool out of yourself. Because why would he make the apology video? We all saw the apology video, didn't we? Do we need to watch the apology video again? I tell you what, in my Bernie Mac's voice, I tell you what, attorney, bring your ass over here to the Rock Squad, and me and the Rock Squad will play the video for you, and me and the Rock Squad will break that video down. Somebody tag the attorney in this demonstration so the attorney can pull up. There's an apology video, sir. What more do you want? Is it me? Somebody talk to the old man. I got cataracts. Memory is fading away slowly, but am I seeing something different? James says that lawyer getting paid to babble. And I get it. That's why I said he's a hell of an attorney. Corm Doug says, let's be honest, that attorney ain't coming in this BI. You don't know that, Corm Dog. You don't know that. Suntan says that attorney will probably be fired soon. He done probably made some promise of him getting that bail, and he's not looking too good. That's a good point, Suntan. Positive Vibe says you are bald. We know for sure he abused Cassie. That's facts. The other stuff has to be proven in court. You may be innocent till proven guilty, and sounds like a lot of video and witness to his guilt. Beautiful says, didn't this PR lady just resign too after 20 years? Whoop, there it is. Beautiful says, very bald. So, like you said, some stuff, most of the stuff has to be proven. I'll give them that. However, the assault, the attack on Cassie, it's right there. See, Diddy, you played yourself again. Appreciate that super chat 80s, baby. Appreciate that super chat 80s, baby. Diddy played himself again. Less than 24 hours. Less than 24 hours. He settled out of court with 30 million. Now, he definitely had to come up off the 30 million. Now, I know I done that demonstration yesterday. Tammy says the lawyer making it look good till Diddy has nothing. It ain't funny, Corm Doug. It ain't funny, Corm Doug. But like that $100 million lawsuit, that was a default. The attorney found the loophole. I mean, I give it to him on that. Salute, Tam. It ain't funny, Tam. I tell y'all what, all of y'all asses that's laughing at me and throwing up them laughy emojis, I tell you what, I'm going to get 80s baby to time out y'all asses. Lucinda says Diddy was always arrogant. He never thought he'd get caught. That's facts, Lucinda. That's facts. And a lot of people, I'm not going to say all people with money, but a lot of people with money, that's how they feel. Lennon says, so are his assets getting frozen. Yes, they have begun to freeze some of his assets. James says, Shank, the grand jury just need one witness to believe for Diddy to go down. It's over for him. That's facts, James. That's facts. Beautiful says, very bald, very, very, very gray. What the hell is your drunk ass talking about, Beautiful Nightmare? Your ass thought I forgot about you, Beautiful Nightmare, when you were supposed to show up for your birthday celebration, but your drunk ass was somewhere laid the hell out on somebody's floor, drunk with slobber coming all down your drunk ass face. Let's go back to this. I got you, Lennon. Lennon says, so then the lawyers will start dropping off. Exactly. The sharks are coming out. And y'all know, we all know what the attorneys, we know them sharks is just waiting to eat off of Diddy. I mean, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Long live Tramp. hear Osama cream non-spelling ass. Don't come in my chat with your non-spelling ass. It should say long live Trump with your non-spelling ass, Osama. Try again. But let's go back to what they talking about baby oil man.
Once beloved, but also to some feared music mogul, will have to wait to eventually face his fate in federal court. I'm joined now by a really great guest, and that's the state attorney for Palm Beach County, Dave Ehrenberg. Dave, thank you so much for joining me today. Now, Sean Combs, aka Diddy's arrest this week, has made headlines essentially across the globe as he's facing now these federal charges in the sex trafficking case in the Southern District of New York. And his so-called freak-offs are at the center of the prosecution's case. What are your thoughts?
Well, first, it's good to be back with you, Elizabeth. The allegations are horrifying, and my first thought was, how did these things happen for so long with so many people involved and no one seemed to tip off authorities? I mean, according to the indictment, these were highly orchestrated performances of sexual activity in hotels and other locations with drugs. They would go on for days. There were cases of baby oil brought in. There were IVs given allegedly to the victims to recover from the physical exertion and drug use. Were there doctors involved? Who else knew about this? What about the hotel workers? What about all the participants? And only until Cassie finally spoke up did this thing start to unravel. And kudos to Cassie. And my other reaction was, it shows you that people can make a difference in this. And one person speaking up can make a difference. It also shows you how laws can make a difference. The reason why Cassie spoke up was because the New York legislature passed a law that extended the statute of limitations for sexual assault cases civilly to create a new 1-year period that allowed victims to sue their alleged perpetrators even after the statute of limitations was long past. That's what allowed Cassie to come up with her lawsuit, file it, and that's what set all this in motion.
And reading through the many civil lawsuits that Diddy was already facing and comparing it to the indictment, you can't help but see a pattern of alleged abuse. Many of his accusers, even outside of Cassie, have alleged Diddy has drugged/laced them, sexually assaulted or raped them at these parties. Now that Diddy has been arrested, could their claims in the civil lawsuits be used against him in the federal case?
Well, yeah, expect to see them testify in the federal case. Now, there's a different standard in civil and federal. In criminal law, you have to prove cases in criminal law beyond a reasonable doubt. In civil cases, just a preponderance of the evidence, and there's looser evidentiary rules in civil cases than there are in criminal cases. But do expect to see those complaints that were made civilly to come back against him criminally, because when you allege something in a sworn pleading that something happened, yeah, that can come back in a criminal proceeding against Diddy as long as the statute of limitations has not expired. And in this case, you have this pattern alleged of racketeering activity, of sex trafficking, things that could put him in prison for the rest of his life. And so key to this will be the victims and the witnesses taking the stand if it ever goes that far. Now, for Diddy's sake, he's the big fish here, but I'm sure there are other big name individuals who were involved in this, who attended the parties and partook in this, and he may want to start singing because that may be his best chance to avoid the rest of his life behind bars.
And one of his accusers...
Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch what he said? And I see you down there, Tam. So I see you done went from being an angel, Tam, to being a troublemaker. I done told you, Tam. I done told you once. I done told you twice. Stay away from them damn troublemakers of mine. Now my troublemakers done corrupted Tam. All right, Tam. But he said Diddy is the big fish. However, he's sure that there are other big fish, or there is a bigger fish. He said Diddy's only way out. I mean, come on, y'all. We all know how this game works. Everybody knows how this game works. The Mighty One says, congratulations as you're our lucky winner. The Mighty One says, hi, I work for the Bad Boy Entertainment Corporation, and you've been invited to a freak off if you're available. Did y'all hear that? Oh man, they want the old man at the freak offs. Let me see. Now I ain't got 1,000 bottles of baby oil, the Mighty One. Let me just let you know. And I heard that they confiscated all of Diddy's 1,000 bottles. So how am I gonna get some baby oil? Do y'all think I should go to the freak off? And this better not be no joke either, the Mighty One. Y'all, what y'all think I would be doing at the freak offs? How y'all think I'd be at the freak offs? Would I be chilling? King Jong-un says, what if they use all the baby oil on your head? I know, right? I know. Okay, see, Lennon got my back. See that? They're sold out at stores, no baby oil. Beautiful says, Mighty, are you zesty too? Can you hold your bowels still? Lucinda says, videoing. Right. Lennon says, chilling. Marie says, Shank, if you do, you will get hot dogs. Lennon says, video on. Salute, Snapping Turtle. I see you, Snapping Turtle. That's what I love about my chat. My troublemakers keep my chat lit. We got the best chat in town. Tell a friend to pull up over here with Shank and the Rock Squad because we got the best chat on social media. Y'all keep my chat lit while I go back. I appreciate that, Lennon. I try to be cool. Tammy says, Shank, BF, that happens. He went makeup on Alive, and it is. Y'all keep the chat lit. I ain't forgot you, Tam. James says, Shank, he's not going to make out if he sings. He's in deep water. Positive Vibe says, where Miss Parker at, Shank, is going to have a big knot on the back of his head. Miss G says, singing slick shade. Tammy says, don't do it, Shank. Game World says, who is this fart? Your ass. Let's go back, y'all.
There's Rodney Jones Jr., the producer who sued Diddy earlier this year. He claimed he was required to solicit sex workers for these parties. He said many in Diddy's camp were also required to do this. Does that automatically qualify as sex trafficking if they're recruiting these women, potentially even men, for these parties? And what does that tell you about the people in Diddy's inner circle and some of the requirements they had to do in a way to kind of meet his needs?
If women were recruited in the parties to have sex with other people in exchange for money, then that would be human trafficking if they were underage, the women, or if they were adults, if they engaged in this with force, fraud, and coercion, meaning that you'd have to prove for sex trafficking, if there was an adult victim, that there was force, fraud, or coercion. Otherwise, it's prostitution, and prostitution would not be just prosecuted at the federal level. It would be mainly a state crime. But the feds are looking at sex trafficking, which can get you up to life in prison. And the sex trafficking is really a serious crime that involves a commercial sex trade. But again, for an adult victim, you have to have force, fraud, or coercion. That is what is being alleged here. You can coerce people into having sex with others, or if you drug them up to make them have sex with others, that would be enough to charge someone with sex trafficking.
And yesterday in court, Diddy's attorney made kind of an interesting argument. He said, is it sex trafficking if everyone wants to be at the freak offs and wanted to be there? And the defense reportedly went on to say they don't want the federal government in their bedroom. What do you make of that argument? And do you believe that this is a case about just sex?
Well, that's why the judge denied bond. That's why the judge denied the defense request to let him out pre-trial in exchange for a $50 million bond, because he said that the alleged crimes here occurred behind closed doors. So the judge did not believe it was consensual. The judge believed you are hiding stuff behind these closed doors, and we cannot trust you to be alone with these people, or to be alone with anyone, because you could do it again. And as far as whether consent is a defense to sex trafficking, well, it is if there's no force, fraud, or coercion. If everyone engages in commercial sex work voluntarily, without force, fraud, or coercion, then you could have prostitution charges, but that would be state charges. Here, the sex trafficking is because of the allegations that people were forced into it, or they were drugged into it against their will. So that's where the allegations come from. That's where the charges come from.
And just a few months ago, Diddy's friend, Stevie J, aka Stephen Jordan, he posted a video to his social media page after all the civil lawsuits with the caption, "This is what a real Diddy party looks like." It showed very high profile celebrities there. Do you think that these swanky parties that Diddy had were just kind of a mask of what could come after, essentially, during these after parties or during these so-called freak offs? What do you kind of make of just Diddy's infamous parties that he's been so well known for before?
I remember watching South Park, and they had a whole episode about the devil trying to compete with one of Diddy's parties. Diddy did it. That was the phrase that they kept using. And back then it was kind of humorous because of his lavish parties. But there's clearly a sinister side to these parties, according to the allegations, that they involve forced sex and drugs, and then using IVs to bring people back who were overly drugged and treated in such a way where they were physically totally exhausted by doing things that they were forced to do. I mean, it just sounds horrific. I mean, the cases of baby oil being brought in, it's something that makes me wonder how many people knew what was going on. You know, big parties are one thing, but when you start forcing people to do things against their will, and then you allegedly try to blackmail them so that they're forced to do it by saying, we're going to show videos of you, we're going to extort you into having our way with you, or else we're going to expose your deepest, darkest secrets. That's a crime. And that's something that no one should be partaking in. And that's where perhaps some other big names will start to be revealed if they actually partook in this, because what you saw here is a series of crimes, not just fun parties, but crimes.
And that also brings me to my next question. Do the celebrities and the others who have attended his parties need to be worried right now?
Absolutely. You know, if a celebrity attended a big party and just hung out at the buffet table, that's one thing. But if you go into the other wing of the party where all the sex trafficking was occurring, yeah, you got problems. And, their defense maybe, I didn't know. Well, you can't stick your head in the sand and just say, you're innocent. At some point, you have to be responsible for your actions. And so I've heard some rumors of some big names being involved. I'm not going to mention it because I don't have any proof, but it will come out if there's evidence that these celebrities partook in the horrors of the parties. So we'll see soon enough.
And are you surprised Diddy isn't facing any type of cyber charges, given he allegedly filmed and kept recordings of these encounters at the so-called freak-offs?
There could always be a superseding indictment, whereas the evidence comes in, they could charge him with other crimes. But right now, the crimes they're charging him with would keep him behind bars for the rest of his life. And
Wow. These charges can keep Diddy behind bars for the rest of his life. And as I stated yesterday, the indictment, they can bring more charges in this indictment. But as of right now, they got these 3 charges in the racketeering, the sex trafficking, and the kidnapping. It's right there, just off of that video. And I believe that's why, as of right now, they only have 1 victim in this indictment, because they got that videotape of Diddy assaulting Cassie. It proves the kidnapping. That's kidnapping. He held her against her own will. That's easy to prove. There go the video. You know what I'm saying? I see you down there, Snapping Turtle. I see y'all, Just Lang. I see y'all. So that's it right there. The sex trafficking, the racketeering, the bribery. Yeah, they gonna show the videos in court. That video. Now, as far as the other videos, I think that this is my opinion, and I'm gonna call it, y'all. Diddy is going to cop a plea. Now, he's either going to snitch, which pretty much we all believe that's going to be the route that he takes. If he don't snitch and get a lesser sentence, he's definitely going to cop out and take the minimum guidelines that he's looking at, the 15 years for one and then 10 for the other. So either way, he's going to be copping a plea because the attorney, if it's this attorney or if it's another attorney, they're going to advise him. Because I know that's what he's going to want to know. Are they going to be playing these tapes? Yeah, they're going to play these tapes. Yeah, they're going to play these tapes. Now, they might have the jurors go to a private room and have the jurors look at the tapes. You know, I see you guys watching. I see y'all, Lizette. I see everybody down there in the chat. I'll get to the chat. I'll come to the chat in a minute. Ain't no need for me to come to the chat right now anyway, because y'all keep the chat lit by roasting me. But yeah, either one way or another, they going to see them tapes. And the $1 million question is who is on these tapes? And we know, I'm going to just say, I know it ain't no small fishes on this tape. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's a few small fishes on the tapes. But best believe, it's some big fish on them tapes. We talking about P. Diddy. We talking about P. Diddy. P. Diddy has been popping since the mid-90s. So you figure 96, 95, say 94, 95, 96, that's 30 years. He had a 30-year run, 25 to 30-year run. I mean, it's a P. Diddy party. And to answer y'all questions, answer any of y'all questions, do y'all think the celebrities, do y'all think that those that was there, do you think they knew? Hell yeah, they knew. If they came back, they knew. Now, if they only came once, they knew. They just didn't come back. I mean, come on, y'all. When we go to a party, first thing we want to know, what's going on? What type of party is it? When we go to the club, what type of party is it? Who all be there? What type of music they be playing? What's good? What they got going on in the back? What they got going on upstairs? Word travels. That's like when you go to a strip club. You're going to go to the strip club where it's popping. You're going to go to the strip club where the strippers is getting naked. You're going to go to the strip club where there's prostitution going on. You ain't really going to no strip club where the strippers ain't getting naked. You ain't quick to go to a strip club where it ain't no prostitution going on. Now, if it ain't no other clubs where prostitution is going on, yeah, you'll slide up in this one right here. But for the most part, because why do you go to the strip club, fellas? Why do you go to the strip club? Why do we go out clubbing, fellas and ladies? We go to the club, we go to the parties to have a good time. Sex and drugs is involved in having a good time. Whether you have sex in the club, you in that club, especially the fellas, they going to the club. They try and get some. Now, the ladies will have to, speak on why they go to the clubs. But I'm sure the ladies go to the club for a good time. I'm sure the ladies go to the club for either trying to meet a guy or a female or to have a good time. But I know for the fellas, we trying to smash something. We trying to take something home and smash. And for some of us, including me, I'm up in the club. I'm trying to smash in the club. I'm trying to get somebody to go in the bathroom with me or a room somewhere. I mean, we got to call a spade a spade. Now, at a Diddy party, come on. They already knew what was going on. But because of his status, he was a very powerful man. So his status, I mean, come on. Look how long he been getting away with this stuff. Pee-wee says the ladies do the same ish. The ladies ain't going to admit to that though, Pee-wee. But I was waiting for somebody to drop that comment that the ladies do the same thing too. Salute Tracy. Just Lang says so many celebrities have sold their soul to Diddy to get their name out there that we would not expect would sell their soul. Exactly. Exactly. Lennon says Kim Jong, he did if he snitches. And I believe he's a mark man whether he snitch or not. Because the average person is going to believe that he's going to snitch. James says if he snitch, it's over for him. Shaking my head. Shank, he knows too much. What we think another, he will be taken out just saying. That's facts though, James. I feel you. Kim Jong says for sure. Do you think he will be Epstein before trial to protect celebrities? I think so. Salute Precious Jones. I see you, Precious Jones. I think so. I think we talking about some big fishes falling because of Diddy. Lucinda Speaks says bathroom with all those germs. Hell no, that's nasty. Now I ain't gonna be in the bathroom touching stuff, Lucinda. Now I might touch, a butt cheek or two, but I ain't like I'm gonna be in the bathroom getting down for the get down, touching the walls or touching the toilet and stuff like that. No, I ain't doing that. I will have my hands like this with this big ass smile. Or I might be posted up like this, but I'm going to have a smile on my face. I ain't touching nothing but the butt cheeks. But as I stated, it's so many people, and this is what the talk is. Appreciate that super chat, Precious Jones. Appreciate that super chat, Precious Jones. Salute, Tehran. I see you, Tehran. Salute, salute. Ha ha, love your honesty. I gotta be honest. Now, Miss G says you can't make that right, Shank. I mean, hey, I'm gonna be smiling though. You hear me? I'm gonna be like this. Whatever's going down with me, I'm gonna have my hands in the back of my head like this, smiling. With some baby oil. But I see you, Perk. I see the chat. Keep my chat lit. Lube your bald head for a nickel. Hey. But, yeah, cheesing. I'm telling y'all, that's how I would be. Now I done did it before. But salute, y'all. See, that's why I don't like participating with my crazy ass chat. Because whenever I participate with this crazy ass chat of mine, I lose my thoughts. Backtrack, Shank, right? All right. Now, the big fish. We all know there's some big fish on them tapes. There's some people on them tapes. So if he snitch, like James said, if he snitches, that's his ass. If he don't snitch, will he make it in jail? Drop a 1 if y'all think he won't even make it in jail till it's time for him to go to court. How many of y'all think it's lights out for Diddy? Drop a 1 if y'all think it's lights out. He got money to do power moves. He got to get people hit that trying to take him out. Yeah, but all that money he got, that 50 million, couldn't get him out on bond. I mean, so he's in trouble, y'all. He's in trouble. He in trouble. And R. Kelly, he's serving his time. Suge Knight, he's serving his time. Salute my boo. I see you. Appreciate you, my boo. Bill Cosby, he went and done his time. And Bill Cosby was old. And Bill Cosby allegedly was blind. He went and did his time. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. There's no way getting around that.
Are you surprised Diddy is...
come out if there's evidence that these celebrities partook in the horrors of the parties. So we'll see soon enough.
And are you surprised Diddy isn't facing any type of cyber charges, given he allegedly filmed and kept recordings of these encounters at the so-called freak-offs?
There could always be a superseding indictment, whereas the evidence comes in, they could charge him with other crimes. But right now, the crimes they're charging him with would keep him behind bars for the rest of his life. And so the feds may not think there's a need to do an amended indictment yet. Now, that could come. But I thought perhaps there'd be some federal firearms charges, because I thought there were reports when they raided Diddy's places that there were people there with guns, and the feds take that very seriously if they're violating federal firearm laws. If you look at the assassination attempt against Donald Trump, you see the gun laws were the first ones to be filed. So perhaps that's coming, or perhaps they don't have enough evidence there. But generally, when the feds raid your place, come in, guns ablazing, someone's going down. Someone's going to get indicted.
And how hard is it to try a sex trafficking case? Given Diddy's enormous amount of power he had in Hollywood before, do you see there being any trouble with witnesses coming forward, even though Diddy is now behind bars?
I think the fact that Diddy does not have pretrial release, that he is behind bars, will encourage victims to come forward, knowing that they'll be protected, especially as the evidence mounts. All it takes is one to start, and Cassie was that one. And then you have others who followed. So there's safety in numbers, and I do think you'll see people testifying. And as far as how hard it is to prove sex trafficking, well, you have to prove it's a commercial sex act and that there was force, fraud, and coercion, or coercion. And that's what you need. It's a serious crime, and even if that can't be proven, there are racketeering charges involving other crimes. So there's other charges, and there could be more if there's a superseding indictment. But this is not looking good for Diddy right now, and that's why I'm thinking that perhaps his best defense may be to try to tell the feds about all the other people who were involved in this.
And I was down at the courthouse just yesterday, and what I found kind of interesting in all of this was kind of how confident the defense seems to be throughout all of this case. I mean, now Diddy, who once was known to be untouchable in a way, now he is behind bars in a federal prison in Brooklyn. But are you surprised that the defense is coming off as confident as they are? I think they were kind of surprised that Diddy wasn't released on bail yesterday.
These are highly paid, highly powerful, and highly successful lawyers, and they want to give off the aura of confidence. You don't get to be where they are by running scared. Now, I do think they were surprised that an offer of a $50 million bond, an offer of lots of restrictions, home arrest, would be rejected. But the court did what the court needed to do, because Diddy is allegedly a danger to the community, and a flight risk for that matter, because he's got so much money. So I think the court made the right decision in denying bond.
And when it comes to the impeding trial that we don't know when it's going to happen yet, but when it comes to the trial in this case, what type of defense do you see them exploring for trial?
I think the defense has already been telegraphed. I think they'll say this was a consensual party, these were consensual acts, and if it was prostitution, those are just minor state charges, that there was not sex trafficking, that this was not an ongoing criminal enterprise of racketeering, that this is a music business with lots of wild parties, and he should be able to live the life he wants to live with people who are engaging in consensual activities. Now, whether a jury will buy that, I mean, it's belied by the evidence. The evidence has shown that there was some coercion, some forced conduct, some blackmail, and all it takes is one witness to take the stand and say what she or he went through, and I think that's going to be very powerful evidence, because I don't think Diddy is going to take the stand here if it goes to trial. And Cassie, I think, could be a very powerful witness, and apparently there are others ready to go.
And that's who is definitely going to be sending P. Diddy to prison. Cassie. Cassie. Just look at the indictment. Look at the indictment. Look at what was in the indictment. Look at the evidence. feds got the case. The feds got it. Good luck on beating the feds. That's all I can say now. Good luck on beating the feds. There have been people that beat the feds, but 1 out of a million. One out of a million beat the feds. So, good luck.
It's a symbol. When people hear my name, it inspires immediate emotions and responses. I stopped being a person the second I decided to do this. I'm an institution for justice. And when people hear the name Jaguar, they know it stands for that.
Beautiful, you beat me to the question. But, as Beautiful asks, y'all still think Jaguar lying? She called it. Jaguar Wright called it. So, do y'all still think she's lying? Shout out to real life street stars. Shout out to real life street stars.
No, definitely. All right, Jack, let's get right back to it. It's been one of those days, Jack. We just released what we did earlier, as far as the first live reaction, and before we even speak on that, as that came on, again, you were brought to tears. For those who probably haven't seen that yet, what brought you to tears in that moment? Just was it your name on the Associated Press? Was it just overall? Wow.
I've been an Associated Press affiliate for quite some time. I know the work that they do, and I know how hard they work to fight through the noise of the larger newsrooms to get the real stuff out there. So I'm on TikTok before I'm on with you guys, watching like the rest of the world is watching, like I did on my birthday, which was May 17th. And now today is September 17th. And today is the day I funeralized my eldest son, Giovanni, 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He was born on the 5th of September. He left us on the 9th, and we memorialized him on the 17th. It's been 4 months since that video came out. Interesting, isn't it? And all I could think to myself, I wish my kids were here to see this. All my kids, I wish my dad was here to see this. Jaguar Wright was right.
Drop a 1 if y'all think Jaguar Wright was right. Drop a 2 if y'all think she was lying. Drop a 1 if y'all think Jaguar was right. Drop a 2 if y'all think she was lying.
Hashtag Jags Right. It's my dad's name. It's my granddad's name. And it has always been associated and synonymous with standing up for what you believe in at all costs.
We got 1, 2. Tommy from Still Swinging Podcast dropped a 2. Kim Jong is in between, but we got one that feels like she was lying so far. Tommy says, I don't believe nothing she says. I think she would say anything.
And to see that today, it just, yeah. And then I saw somebody say in the captions, don't cry, Jag, because I was on TikTok and I was crying. And then that's when I realized TikTok was in the Associated Press chat and vice versa. And when I logged off, it said 21,000 people were there watching me. There were over 13,000 there.
Well,
It's not a lot, but just to see almost 30,000 people saying thank you. Yeah.
Jack, can I ask, as you stated, even the hashtag Jags right, did you ever question yourself if you were wrong based on how many people were doubting you, that some were doubting you? Did you ever question, like,
No.
am I on the right path?
I didn't even question that. Still don't. Never will. God leads me to do everything I do.
We got another two. Tam says she agreed with Tommy. I see you, Capricorn Chronicles. She's been telling these stories for years. He's lucky Wendy is not well. Ms. Groovy says Wendy would be eating his you know what alive right now. So far, we got two people that think Jaguar is lying. Tommy from Still Swinging Podcast and Tam. Precious Jones says he made sure Wendy would be sick and not tell.
I don't question God. I question man all the time. But when God puts a charge on my heart, I don't question that no matter how hard it is. I believe the stories and the parables I was taught. I believe that even in the worst of things, God has the ability to change that outcome in seconds. I've witnessed it for myself. I know it to be true. So yeah, no doubt.
Jag, what does this do to the culture when P. Diddy is arrested like this?
I don't know what it's going to do. I know what they're intending for it to do. I can tell you what I'm hoping it will do. Wake people up. Wake up. Too many people were shocked today. Too many. Way too many.
We're going to come back to Jaguar. I'm going to give a brief demonstration. We're going to come back to Jaguar. I'll plug y'all back in with Jaguar. I believe that Jaguar pretty much tells 90% of the truth. Now, she caught it with Diddy. Let me see. Who was first, Jaguar or Gene Deal? I think Gene Deal might have been first. I'm not sure. However, we first heard of these freak-off parties through either Jaguar or Gene Deal. I'm going to just say both of them because I don't know who was first. But she caught this stuff. Now, what I want to build off of, the accountability part. We know that Diddy is definitely guilty. And I'll come to the chat, y'all. Give me a minute. I'll read some comments from the chat. Just give me a minute. We know that Diddy is guilty of at least assaulting Cassie. I don't have to say allegedly. We don't have to say allegedly. We definitely know that he assaulted Cassie on the videotape. All right, let's focus on the facts. Let's focus in on what we see. So at least one time, at least one time, he assaulted Cassie. At least one time, he held her against her will. At least one time. We saw the video of him doing it. We saw the video of him apologizing. Let's stay right there for right now. We'll come back to everything else, the other charges, the accusations, and all of the above. But let's just stay right there with what we know. How should this be handled? Should P. Diddy be given any prison time for the assault and the kidnapping of Cassie that we saw on the video? I'll let y'all tell me. Tasha Mack says, I believe majority of what she says, Orlando Brown too, when people tell the truth, they make it seem as if they are crazy. Good point, Tasha. Tommy from Still Swinging Podcast says, I think he should be punished accordingly to do. I think he should go sit in the prison for the rest of his life. No way. Positive Vibe says yes. Somebody said yes, 10 years at least. Miss G says yes. Lennon says Orlando Brown was the first to say all this way back. Okay, so Orlando Brown was first. Miss Groovy says yes. Tammy says yes, yes, and yes. James says kidnapping is automatic 10 years. Now, is it with the feds? Because I don't know. With the feds, what's the minimum? What's the guidelines for kidnapping with the feds? What's the minimum and what's the maximum guidelines with the feds for kidnapping? I don't know. So if somebody can let me know what the minimum maximum guidelines for kidnapping with the feds is. Lennon says 25 plus years at least. 80s baby says 100 for sure. Prosecuted to the fullest, life sentence. Tommy says, I think he should be punished like any other man would be punished. I don't think he should be punished more because he's rich. Kim Jong says yes. Tasha says, absolutely. He should. You and I with money and fame shouldn't change that. That's a good point. That's a good point. Lisette says, under the jail. Pee-wee says no, because she got paid for her abuse. Good point, Pee-wee. Good point. Let's build off of Pee-wee's comment. Pee-wee says no, because she got paid for her abuse. That's a legitimate clapback. That's a legitimate clapback. Drop a 1 if y'all agree with Pee-wee. Drop a 2 if you disagree. Pee-wee says no, because she got paid for her abuse. Lennon says, I love this. I graduated in 1992. Tommy says, it depends on what happens during the kidnapping. Okay, so let's get back to Jaguar, but how many of y'all agree with Pee-wee? Tommy says, Pee-wee, I forgot all about that. I agree with you. Lennon says, money, don't trade that off. 1 if she got paid. Miss G says 20 years to life for kidnapping. Lennon dropped the 2. Kim Jong dropped the 1 and 2. James and Lennon dropped the 2. Positive Vibes dropped the 1 and 2. Marie dropped the 1. Miss Groovy says 2. She didn't get paid for the trauma. Lennon dropped the 2. Tasha says the judge sentencing you and make you pay restitution. Tommy dropped the 1. Capricorn says, did she bring that up in the civil suit? If so, then yes. Tam dropped the 2. Kim Jong says she got paid and trauma came with it. Pee-wee says she got a $30 million ass whipping. All right, let's come back to Jaguar.
I've been saying this for 4 years, publicly. Why are you surprised? Why is anyone shocked? Why are people still questioning whether or not Diddy is the devil? Who offers to pay $75 million to get out of jail and they say, yeah, no, not enough? I mean, are we really thinking, everyone's talking about his potential bond fees and set bond amounts, is nobody not looking at how astronomical these numbers are? When's the last American we heard of that needed more than $20 million to get out of jail?
I'm going to take Ern comment, y'all. Ern says he was way too comfortable beating her in that video for it to be the first or only time beating a woman. He's no man.
Right. Takashi offered $3 million on, like for murder charges, and he offered $75 million for sex trafficking.
So if you offer that amount of money and they say, yeah, no, we're gonna put you in jail instead, yeah, I really thought they was gonna let him go. I had started to think that he was gonna get the bond. I was happy with ankle monitor, relinquishing your passport, no G5s, no more freak off, no 2C. I thought that, but no bond, no bail. That's amazing. What that just makes me believe in God even more. you know.
Now that they're, he can't get out. How do you
Hey,
think?
Angel baby.
Hi, Jag. How do you think his behaviors are going to change? Since not being released on bond, he has to, stay in jail. How do you think his behavior is going to be moving forward?
Let me be very clear about this. I am not a behavioral specialist or expert in any way, but I am a person who has been around a lot of scumbags, and I got a lot of history. And what I know about scumbags is, caught or not caught, they're not changing nothing. You got to think about all of the 1,001 bottles of baby oil. What sane person does that? Like, why is nobody questioning the sociopathy of a person that's capable of doing all of these things that we're talking about? Now the lawyer is saying that the only reason that what we saw happen to Cassie on camera was because she went through his phone, got mad at what she saw, threw it at the back of his head, and that was his reaction.
Okay, so backtrack. Allegedly, Cassie went through P. Diddy's phone. Okay, backtracking. But how many of y'all agree with Jaguar when she says, what sane person or who does that? Who has a stock of 1,000 or more bottles of baby oil? Who does that? 1,000 or more bottles of baby oil.
Can you imagine if somebody came up to you during a winter where there was some snow, which rarely happens in Texas, but if somebody came up to you and threw a snowball in your face and you pulled out an AK pow pow, and that was your response. Like, anyone would say that was insane.
Yeah, let me ask you, I'm curious. The average human probably use how much baby oil in a year?
I don't know, because I don't use that stuff at all. It causes I use shea butter. But back in the days before I made it and got my hands on some good stuff, when I did use baby oil, a bottle would last me at least 4 months.
At least.
Now, when I was using baby oil, matter of fact, I got a half a bottle of baby oil upstairs. It take me a minute to go through one bottle of baby oil. It take me a minute to go through one bottle of baby oil.
And if I air dry and I did the baby oil in the shower and air dry, I needed even less. That could last up to 5, maybe even 6 months. So, if you're thinking like a vat Baby oil. I mean, this all sounds very college, very frat boyish.
Right.
Like KY jelly, wrestling t-shirt contest with girls with big breasts. It sounds a lot like that.
Yeah, it
I
could have
just
been.
want to know, were there women in the tub of baby oil, or was that all for meat milk?
Did y'all catch that? Was there women in the tub, or was it all for mink milk? I think we all know who she's referring to when she says mink milk.
Test with girls with big breasts. It sounds a lot like that.
Yeah, it
I
could have
just
been.
want to know, were there women in the tub of baby oil, or was that all for meat milk? I mean, 1,001 bottles of baby oil, that might be enough to cover TD cakes.
Did y'all hear that? 1,000 bottles of baby oil might be enough to cover TD cakes.
Yeah, it
I
could have
just
been.
want to know, were there women in the tub of baby oil, or was that all for meat milk? I mean, 1,001 bottles of baby oil, that might be enough to cover TD cakes. I know it's definitely enough to submerge Khaled up to his chest.
Mmm. Mmm.
Now you put him and Rose in there, you might need to go hit another truck.
Mmm. She threw Kylie and Rose under the bus. Mmm. What are y'all thoughts? What are y'all thoughts?
There probably is a shortage somewhere. Jay, let me ask you, because they felt
a couple of shortages and a couple of rappers' pants. What you were saying?
Let me ask you, they looked at Diddy as one, a possible flight risk, but as two, as he could coerce witnesses. With having $75 million at his disposal, isn't that by nature the exact thing that they're worried about? If you have this much money, that you could make this thing, you could probably make people disappear if you really opted to.
See, this is the thing. That'll just make more trouble. Why would he make more trouble now? He done already bought off and paid off everybody he possibly could. Have you looked at the indictment? Like, he called some witnesses up to 54 times.
Yeah.
What are y'all thoughts on that? In the indictment, it says he called some of the witnesses up to 54 times.
200 and how many angels? 200 something people he tried to reach out to the.
Like, what are you running, a telethon or a telemarketing agency? Telemarketers don't make that many calls in one day. Or sometimes not even in a week, all depending on you was on that. You down for Diddy? Like, how does that conversation start? Hey, what's up? I really feel bad about that last time I bashed you in the face with a Ciroc bottle. Look, we good? Like,
So, I have to ask. You did a video on our end with Gene Deal.
yeah.
Gene Deal was also a person who spoke on the earlier times of Diddy. Has your phone been ringing from any people of noteworthy? You don't got to say any names, but has your phone been ringing from some of your celeb friends that you have
I turned all of my
shared this?
ringers off.
Mm.
I just took my phone off Do Not Disturb so we could do this.
What?
Wow. Love her or hate her, you definitely have to pay attention to what she has been saying. Tammy says, Shank, it is what it is. All is truth coming to the light. I'm not going to hold y'all that much longer. I'll take a few comments and then I'll let you all get out of here. I appreciate the replay gang. I appreciate everybody in the chat. I appreciate everybody watching from the clouds. Appreciate all my moderators. I see you, Melanated Queen. Salute, Melanated Queen. Appreciate you for pulling up. Suntan says she believes Jaguar. I believe the majority of the things she says. Positive vibes threw up the bald head signs and the rock signs. I guess positive vibes is getting ready to start roasting me before we get up out of here. Oh, I gotta send a big shout out to all my troublemakers. Hey, the majority of the chat is troublemakers. Y'all asses come in here as angels. Y'all come in here quiet, humble, and peaceful. But then y'all get around them damn troublemakers of mine, and I don't know what become of y'all. I don't know what y'all be thinking. Beautiful says, we appreciate the funky bush watchers that's too afraid to support public. Appreciate the bush people. Y'all know who y'all are. Here we go. I'm an angel. Let's see how long your ass remains an angel. Because I know once you come in here a couple times and you get with the flow with beautiful, positive vibes and the rest, 80s baby. See, 80s baby being good today. But don't let 80s baby fool y'all. But once you get around them, it's a wrap. Beautiful says, Milk Dud, you did good today. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, beautiful night, man. Thank you. 80s baby is not an angel. You're not an angel. So stop lying. Are you going to corrupt me? It ain't me that's going to corrupt you. It's them. It's beautiful. 80s baby. Positive vibe. Suntan says, I'm a queen too. Suntan, you be Suntan in between. An angel and a troublemaker. For the most part, Suntan, she be good. Miss G, she be good for the most part. Suntan and Miss G, they be good for the most part. Melanated Queen is good. She's an angel. But watch out. Tammy, let's see. It's Tammy. Tammy is an angel, but every now and then I do see you throwing up the laughy emojis, Tammy. There go Tam. Tam, after today, Tam is a troublemaker. Ern says, I am the devil and I'm here to do the devil's work. Well, I got news for you, devil. You think you gonna come in here and do the devil's work? My troublemakers, along with my angels, will run your red pointy ears, pitchfork holding, pigtail in the back having, red ass up out of here. Try your hand, the devil. Tam says it's my birthday. Can I get everybody to wish Tam a happy birthday? And I haven't forgot Virgos. I will be doing, I might do it tonight, y'all. Matter of fact, pull up the night. Pull up the night. We're going to do a Virgo birthday celebration at 9 o'clock. Let me get everybody to wish Tam a happy birthday. Suntan says, when it's funny, you got to laugh. Beautiful says, now Capricorn, you know you captain. What Capricorn said? Capricorn says, I'm an angel. Get out of here. Get out of here. Some of us got God's protection. Say it again for the devil. Some of us got God's protection, devil. Miss G, okay. Salute, Big O. I see you, Big O. Appreciate you for pulling up. Nightmare in my name for nothing. Here they go. Beautiful says, Virgo, Tam, happy birthday. Ern says, I'm just talking ish. I know, Ern. I know. I'm just tripping with y'all. Positive vibes. I know. Melanated Queen. I know. Thank you, everyone. Tan says, happy birthday, Tan. Yeah. Amen, God's protection. I appreciate everybody for pulling up. Like I said, once again, make sure y'all pull up tonight at 9 o'clock. We will have a Virgo birthday celebration for all of the Virgos. Beautiful night, man. Make sure your ass pulls up. Make sure Beautiful bring her drunk ass to the birthday celebration. Who had a birthday? Precious Jones said, hey, Virgo, can I get everybody to wish Precious Jones a happy birthday? Can I get everybody to wish Precious Jones a happy birthday? A happy belated birthday. Capricorn says, I tried to slide, but Beautiful says, don't slip on the baby oil, Shank. I'm coming. I'm going to bring the baby oil. Just for that, I'm going to bring the baby oil. I'm going to make sure I got baby oil all on my milk dug head. I'm going to have baby oil all over my body. Miss G says, let's go get me a drink too. I'm coming in. Yeah, beautiful. We gonna see. Once again, appreciate all of y'all, and I will see y'all back at 9 p.m. Salute everybody.